So like, for example, how did you get started?
Well, let's think about this for one thing. When you're mentoring someone, there really aren't any rules to conversation. And it's important to remember that. Because once you think about formalizing stuff and trying to make it a structure and walking through somebody, it becomes like a teaching moment and it becomes less conversational. It's not comfortable. People shy away from that. They don't really want anything to do with it.
So it's not awkward the way you do it?
It's not awkward at all, really, because here's what's happening. You're already in the middle of a conversation. You're already talking to somebody. If you're a buddy of mine, I want to say, hey, here's my problem. What do you think? Do you have any advice for me? And that's where really the mentoring comes in, is with the advice component. It's, well, I do have some advice. Here's what I've learned, but also here's a resource that I think we can take a look at together and have a conversation about that. When does a mentoring opportunity come up, right? In a mentor relationship, you're teaching somebody who needs to learn some skills. So I'm offering this to people who are in need of help. I'm not just walking up to everybody I know going, hey, come here, man, let me take you under my wing. I'm going to teach you how to be a spiritual guru. What I do is I only talk to select people that want to hear. I'll talk to as many people that want to listen. So if you come to me and you say you've got some problems, and I think, man, this guy really needs some help, and the help maybe comes from up here, then I spot that as an opportunity to talk to you about it. But if you're just coming over to watch the game, I'm not saying, hey, let's go check out pursueGOD.org at halftime.
So some Christians just sort of assume we're talking about jumping into like sharing the gospel with people.
Yeah.
What would you say to that?
Yeah, that's a great question. You know, coming up through the years, I never liked people like that. You know, I went to a fair one time and a guy ran up to a bunch of girls, probably 6 or 8 girls, and just said, hey, have you heard the good news about Jesus? Mm-hmm. And, you know, they scattered faster than a bunch of cockroaches when the light came on. So I wouldn't recommend that at all. You know, we're just talking about life topics. If it progresses to that, fantastic. There's things that we're talking, let's say we're talking about marriage, or we're talking about hope, or we're talking about worry. We're having conversations centered on biblical principles. But it's not like we're reading chapter and verse and chapter. There might be a verse or 2 or 3 that we even get into, if that. So we're not getting really spiritual about it. And I'm not going to say, hey man, get on your knees and let's start praying, baby, and let's get you saved. That's not what it's about, right? He's probably not even open to that at that point anyway. You know, are you talking to someone who's a believer? Are you talking about somebody who went to church as a kid and just kind of fell away from it and they don't really know where they're at now? I mean, there's all kinds of different people in life, and they're all at different places in their life. And so we're just talking about that particular topic that affects them right now. It's about giving them hope in their lives, enriching their lives, letting them experience the peace that God has to offer. I think that they'll come to that. I think the Lord's led them to these conversations to begin with, and they'll come to that. God will bring them to that.